Good morning. Welcome back to Learning with Miss Lee. Today we're going to be in our story, The Legend of Knockmany, again, and we are going to talk today about story elements, the parts of a story. There are three main parts of any story. You have the characters. These are your subjects. These are your nouns in your sentence, but these are the things that are doing something in your story. And the word character has the word actor in it. So characters are our actors in our play. The setting is very important in our story because it tells us where the story takes place, if it's taking place in the country or if it's taking place in the city. I often use the Three Little Pigs when talking about setting, and see, to show how important the setting of a story is. If the Three Little Pigs was set in New York City, it would be a completely different story. They wouldn't be looking for things to build their house out of. They would be looking for places to rent, because there's no need to build a house in New York City because there's so many buildings already there. So the story would be completely different. And then we have our plot, our beginning, our middle, and end. How did the characters respond to the events in the story at the beginning? How did they respond at the middle of the story? And how did they respond at the end of the story? Also, what is the problem at the beginning of the story? What do the characters do to solve that problem? And how is the problem finally solved at the very end of our story? So these are very important elements to any story. And you can create a table like this when you read any story to help you understand the story. So let's begin and let's look again at the Legend of Knockmany. All right, so this is an Irish folk tale. Remember, it is set, we'll find out real quick, it says long ago in Ireland. So that's our setting right there. There lived a giant named Finn McCool. We have an actor in our story. One day Finn was helping to build the giant's causeway when he heard that another giant wanted to fight him to see who was stronger. The giant's name was Cahulan. Oh, we have two characters so far in our setting, or part of our setting. Let's see. This news put a fright into Finn. Cahulan was so strong he once caught a thunderbolt in his hand and smashed it flat as a pancake. Finn pulled up a large tree for a walking stick and left at once for home. Seems pretty strong to me. Agra, Finn, you're trembling, said his wife, Una, when he got to his house atop Knockmany Hill. Una, my dear, said Finn, Cahulan is coming after me. So we have the beginning of our story. We have our characters. All right, so our characters in this story are Finn McCool, Cahulan, the bully, and Una, Finn's wife. And our setting of our story is in Ireland, but not just in Ireland, but in Knockmany Hill, a specific location in Ireland. So these are our characters, these are our settings. Now, we've read the beginning of our story, so we have our plot. Let's look at our plot so far and see how our characters respond and how our characters are looking at the problem. All right, so we have Finn is scared, and it says Finn was scared. He was frightened. He went home. Cahulan was a bully. He was mean and angry and wanted to find out who was stronger. But Una, we're going to see, let's look and see how she's going to respond to the story. So we can look at our picture here. He looks frightened, but she looks pretty calm. Let's see. It says, the one who carries a thunderbolt in the shape of a pancake? Asked Una. The same and no other, said Finn. Well, maybe we'll treat him to some pancakes of our own making, said Una with a grin. Oh, she doesn't seem as scared. She seems pretty sly. She has a plan. So let's see the middle of our story. Let's see what is going to happen. What is Una's plan? Now, Una was as clever as Coonan was strong. Already her mind was at work on a plan to outwit the bully. She handed Finn some baby clothes. Put these on and climb into the cradle, she said. Well, she still looks calm and doesn't look upset at all. Then Una made 12 cakes of bread. Inside 6 of them, she baked iron pans. Next, she took some milk and made some curds and whey. She shaped the curds into a ball and laid them next to a round white stone. They look the same. The stone looks like the ball. Soon there was a mighty knock at the door. Falkle, said Una. Come in. Is Finn McCool here? The visitor asked. No, he's out looking for that bully Chulin. Una answered. I am Chulin, said the visitor. He looks like a bully. He doesn't look very nice. Doesn't look like he's coming to have tea and crackers. So let's see. Oh, is that so? Finn will soon find you here. Sit and have a bite to eat with Finn's son. Una set the 6 cakes of bread with the pans inside before Cuchulainn. She gave the others to Finn in the cradle. He looks pretty happy, like, yum. Looks like good food. Cuchulainn bit into the cake of bread. It bounced right out of his mouth, taking one of his teeth along with it. Ouch. What kind of bread is this? Cuchulainn cried. It's as hard as iron. Looks like the plan is working. It's made from Finn's own family recipe, said Una. In the cradle, Finn smashed the 6 cakes he had, without pans in them, into his mouth. And he smiled up at Cuchulainn. Cuchulainn must be thinking, wow, I can't eat. The baby can eat these? The baby wants to play, said Una. He loves to squeeze water out of stones. She handed Finn the ball of curds. When he squeezed it, water oozed out. Then he popped it into his mouth, chewed, and swallowed. Looks like a stone, but let's see what happens. Cuchulainn squeezed his stone, but nothing came out. Then he bit into it. Out bounced another tooth. What kind of choppers does that baby have? Asked Cuchulainn. He put his finger into Finn's mouth to find out. Not a smart thing to do. Finn bit down as hard as he could. Cuchulainn howled in pain. If the baby is this strong, I hope never to meet the father. So let's see. In the middle of our story, Cuchulainn comes to the house. Finn is dressed like a baby, and Una has made tricked food. And now they have eaten the tricked food. They've eaten the food. Finn ate the real food, and Cuchulainn ate the tricked food that was not really food. So let's see what happens at the end. So Cuchulainn headed for the door. Tell Finn McCool I am no longer looking for him, he said. And the earth shook as Cuchulainn ran out of the valley, and some folks say out of Ireland altogether. So at the end of our story, Cuchulainn left them alone. And Finn and Una don't have to worry about being scared anymore because they have tricked him. They've used brain over brawn to win out in the battle against the bully. So, remember, when you're reading a story, think about who are the characters. How do they respond to the events that are happening in the story? What is the problem in the story? How do they solve the problem? And where does the story take place, and how does that affect the story? So it affects the story. This is an Irish folk tale, and it's a countryside, and it's long ago. So the timing of the story takes place as well, helps the story as well. Because this story might not be the same if it were set in modern day. It might have a little bit of a different twist to it. They might not have made food to scare him off. They might have used some other kind of trickery. So whenever you're reading a story, think about the characters, the setting, and the plot. Create a little graphic organizer and keep track of what's going on in the story to help you understand the story. Enjoy reading, enjoy learning, and have fun. Thank you.